Hey guys, I'm here in Namibia at Veronica Flying, and today I will show you here all around the lodge. Then later on we will head to the airfield here in the background, prepare the glider and go flying. First of all, let's check out the accommodation here. That's the VIP accommodation, that's the best one you can get here at Veronica Flying.
Come in and enjoy. A nice huge bed, very great view around here with all the windows, so you can have a look at the gliders, at the cumulus and so on. The fan up there, air conditioning, a huge mirror here on this side, some stuff for tea, coffee probably, some cookies, and yeah, and then this place, first picture. And I would say the bathroom is the highlight. Here, a huge bathroom with a toilet there, a bathtub even here. I probably won't use that. A shower, and the best is the view from the shower. You can have a look at the gliders at the airfield.
Okay, then let's start and go that way. Let's take the time to talk about flying in Namibia and why so many people come here and why it is the fantastic place to fly. So first of all, the gliding conditions here are just excellent. You have a cloud base of up to 5,500, perhaps even 6,000 meters, which is amazing. And of course you get also very good climb rates, 5 meters, 6 meters or even more. So it is really a fantastic place to fly huge distances. And of course that's great for everyone. On the other hand, it is perfect because here the season is shifted to the European season. So you can come here when there's no thermal flying possible in Germany anymore or in Europe, and you can just have a better season, a longer season, and fly here in the winter. And of course, what's also great, it's just a 10-hour flight from Germany to Windhoek to Namibia. And also there's only 1 hour of time shift, so that's super amazing, and you don't need a day or two to get into the new time zone. Okay guys, we arrived here at the main lodge. This place here, and that's the briefing area, but also the dinner area, especially if the weather is bad. It's more here on the inside. Then here next to it there's a great bar, which really looks amazing in here, super cool. And then on the other side you can sit outside here in the shadow, you can sit down here. That's also a very cool place to just relax. Let's get in there. Oh, that's so cool, it's so relaxing here. And then in the background, you can jump directly here into the pool. Yeah, and then here it's a fireplace. On this side it's the barbecue area. There usually they make barbecue every day, or they cook here outside at the barbecue place. And yeah, you of course can also have a good rest here in the shadow. And what's super cool, it's also super green here, all around. You have all the trees and so on. But one thing I need to say, we had a lot of rain in the last days or weeks, so that's why it looks that green, especially the trees. That's not the normal thing here in the Kalahari Desert. Then here, that's the breakfast area. We just had breakfast here. You take your breakfast buffet on the inside. Let's check that out as well. As you see here, everything looks a bit different, a bit special, but yeah, it is a hunter lodge, it's a game lodge, so that's why you see all these animals here on the walls. A nice big fireplace here in the middle. To be honest, yeah, it's not completely my taste here, but it's a game lodge, a hunter lodge as well, so that's why it looks like this, and it also fits well to Namibia.
And then let's go out here.
That's the reception. Here outside are also more chairs, more areas to relax in the shadow. And that's here the main entry when you arrive. Let's quickly go that way. That's a parking area. That's our rental car, which we had also to get to different other lodges for some proper holidays, some normal touristic stuff, not only flying. Yeah, and then let's head back that way and we can have a look here at the other lodges or the other accommodations. As you can see here on the ground, everything has this red Kalahari sand here, but yeah, that you have some walks, some ways here to the different types of accommodation. I think these are the standard rooms. So you have the VIP, the most exclusive ones, you have the standard accommodations here, and then there's even something more basic. It's a little bit down the way, at the parking space down the way, and you can even be there in a tent. Good morning! What are the big advantages about flying here in Veronica? As I already told you, I think these are the best accommodation. It's the most luxurious accommodation. They are quite modern, especially the VIP rooms there. They are super nice. What I personally like very much is that all the distances here between the accommodation to the restaurant, but also down there to the airfield, it's super short. On the other hand, you don't have the big pan like in Bitterwasser, for example. So you have here proper runways, but it's not a tarmac runway, it's just a standard, it's a sand runway, I would say, and you have 2 runways, so it is not perfect for every wind condition, and especially if there's a big wind gust coming in the evening when you want to land and you need to land because sunset is there and it's getting dark and so on. This may be a little bit of a disadvantage. Of course, it's just easier in a big pan to just land against the wind and make a safe landing. On the other hand, here in the background, probably you can see it, it's a huge, very long runway as well, and we will later go down there and you will see how the gliders are arranged there on the runway, and it's just super convenient. They usually start here also with a lot of crosswind or even a bit of tailwind, and they don't bring the gliders, or usually if the wind is still okay, they don't bring the gliders to the other side of the runway, so you can just taxi a bit from your parking position and then directly start. That saves a lot of time in the morning, and yeah, we will check out everything, every details down there, but it's really a very cool and unique setup here as well. And on the other hand, you are in the best place in the world to fly gliders, everything, the service and so on is amazing. So you can really relax, go fly, recharge at night, have a great dinner, have a great breakfast, and do it all over again. We have here room number 12, and as you can see on the right hand side, we have the view to the airfield and can directly see our glider. So down there, that's the hangar. On the right hand side, behind these bushes, you can already see some gliders. So the distance to the glider is not far, which is amazing. And most of the pilots are already preparing or even prepared the glider before breakfast. But we are a bit lazy. We will make a shorter flight today because it's the last day of our stay here. Dressed up for flying, and here I have some of my luggage, my stuff to eat, to drink, and some documents and so on. Let's go and check out the airfield. We arrived here at the, let's say, flight office and hangar space. It's here in the background. There are also these 3 containers with which they ship the gliders from Europe to Namibia. Hey! Yeah, and this is the hangar space. It's mainly used for some smaller or bigger repairs. In the background there you can store equipment from the glider. Here in the shadow there are some quads, which is super cool. Then on this side here you can see the main, let's say, flight office. It's outside in the shadow. You can relax here as well. In here, that's the main office, and they are working there. So it's really a nice, sweet place, nice airfield. What is also super cool, here in the background you see every 2 gliders have one of these small, I don't know, these wooden houses there where you can store your covers, have water, they have electricity, so you can just get the water for filling up the glider from here. You can charge your batteries during night in the glider, so that's super convenient, super cool. We are flying here the Twin Shark. It's an amazing glider, double-seater, super good performance. Of course, it's a self-launch glider, and yeah, I'm sitting here in the rear seat today, and it's time to prepare everything, clean up the mess in here a bit, and then yeah, we need to check the engine.
I'm watching all your videos. I like your videos. They are the one that inspire me to try also do some editings.
Let's quickly check the engine. By the way, I made a video series for HPH, I think 1 year ago, where we do all the pre-flight check, how to rig a glider and so on. So very detailed video and more or less a manual and instruction video. And yeah, so have a look there, and I will do a quick check here. Papa taking off 01. That's Namibia, 6 point something meters per second going up. Crazy. We have great Namibian weather again. On the other hand, there are big blue areas, and at the beginning it was super hot on the glider. So that's also one downside here in Namibia, I would say. You really need to drink a lot. You need to try to avoid sun as much as possible. And what we did today to prepare the glider at noon in the heat to fill it up with water ballast and so on, it's just not the smartest solution. But of course, on the other hand, otherwise you need to wake up early, prepare the glider before breakfast and so on. It's probably the better way. Yeah, but for us it's a vacation and we didn't want to fly a super huge flight today. I have asked my Instagram community for some questions about flying here in Namibia. The first one here, he is quite experienced with cross-country flying. Can you fly here for the first time on your own, or should you go in a two-seater? I did it the, let's say, more hard way. I went to Namibia to Bitterwasser for the first time because I won the Bitterwasser Cup 10 years ago or so, and I went there. I got a bit of an instruction what to do and how to do and where to outland and so on, but I would say it was quite big new thing to fly a self-launch glider. Of course I made the self-launch rating before, but yeah, So there are many new things, or there weren't many new things for me. If you have some more experience with a self-launch glider in Europe before, then I would say it's absolutely no problem. And even if you just did it like I did, you have the self-launch rating and go to Namibia, you have good cross-country experience, you have some outlanding experience as well, you're not super scared, then I would say you can just go here and rent a single-seater glider and just have fun. And of course at the beginning you should be a bit more careful, get used to the weather, get used to the conditions, get used to flying later in the day, and then it's fine. Is it possible to fly in Namibia if you don't have the best financial background? I would say it is quite an exclusive thing to fly in Namibia. Of course there are more, let's say, less expensive options. I think you could fly in Popeni, for example, rent there a Discus BM, and then it's much more affordable than, let's say, to go to Veronica or Bitterwasser and rent a Arcus Twin Shark or even a Ventus 3M. Overall, the costs, let me quickly give you an overview. So if you want to fly in Veronica, the accommodation, the standard accommodation is 210 euros per night per person in a double room. There are less expensive options available, like I already said, the basic accommodation and the tent. I don't have the prices in mind at the moment, but you can save there, of course. And then a huge factor as well is the glider. So to rent a Twin Shark per day, it's 400 euros. To rent an Arcus M per day, it's more like 450 euros a day. Of course, in a double-seater you can fly with two persons, so you can share this, and then it gets a little bit less expensive. And then on top of that you need to pay the fuel and the oxygen. For the whole week, 7 days of flying, 1 day where we used the engine to get back home, we used about 24 liters of fuel. So yeah, it's not that expensive at the end. So on top of that you need to book a flight. The direct flight from Munich to Windhoek is about 1,300 euros, which is kind of expensive. I would say you could also fly with Ethiopian Airlines. I think it was like 800 euros for the same period of time. But of course the direct flight is more convenient, and the German airline is probably a little bit safer at the end. And then you need a transfer from the airport Windhoek to Veronica Lodge, which is another 200 euros. You can share it with others, or you can get a rental car, which we did this time. The rental car was like 500 euros for 2 weeks. Using oxygen because of the height. Yes, you can probably see and feel I am now in 4,200 meters, and probably I have a bit of a different or a slower speaking and so on. I have the oxygen in my nose, but if I speak, it is super hard to breathe with your nose. So I have a bit of a lack of oxygen at the moment, which is still okay, and it's safe. I'm not the pilot at the moment, but yeah, it is because of the height. If you go up to 5,500 meters, that's really nearly impossible without oxygen, especially if you just do it in a short time and you don't get used to it. I think these were all the questions which you asked me for flying here in Namibia and for the Veronica. I will answer some more questions about flying with a Twin Shark soon in another video, and for now let's enjoy the view. And it was an amazing trip here in Namibia. Also the touristic travel was super nice.
We had 2 weeks of great weather. At the beginning we had a bit of a rain, but that's also cool to see the desert in rain and so on. So yeah, we had great luck and 7 out of 7 flying days, which is really awesome.
Stop.
Here already, yeah?
The four. No. The four. Stop. 1. Stop.